Not getting enough new patients at your dental office is the number one reason why dental practices don't grow as much as they want to and don't get the profit, the take-home amount of money that most offices want. And the number one factor that's influencing the amount of new patients you get the most is actually something that's free that you don't have to pay for. When getting new patients, there are 3 steps to getting that new patient. The first step is that they find out about your office. They either hear about your office from a friend, they find you online, they drive by your building and see you, they see an ad on Facebook or Instagram, but they find out about your office. The second thing they do is they contact your office. Once they contact your office, whether it's a form, they text you, they walk in, they call. Once they contact the office, they're scheduled, and then the third part of it is actually getting them to come to their appointment. When people think about getting more new patients, they usually focus only on the first part, which is getting that lead, getting that phone call, getting that person to text or email or walk in the door. That's the first part, and that's what marketing gets you. When you pay for something like Google ads or Facebook ads, you're not paying for new patients. You're paying for phone calls. You're paying for those potential patients to see your office and give you a call. It's the second part where most offices are losing the most new patients, which is what happens when that person calls or when that new patient emails or submits a form. How that new patient phone call is handled is usually the most mishandled part of the new patient process. When we buy new offices, we don't change the marketing, we don't change the ads, we leave everything as is for the first 6 months. And we always see 10 to 15 more new patients a month just by handling how those calls are answered, when those calls are answered, and how everything is responded to. And we'll go over the 3 most important parts of this. There's a lot of different things that go into how this is handled, but we'll go over the 3 most important ones that will help you get more new patients without increasing your marketing, without doing any extra campaigns, without doing anything else, but improve on the systems that you already have. The first one is the easiest to handle, and it's something that in marketing we call speed to lead. What that means is when somebody calls, or when somebody submits a form, or when somebody says they're interested, the time it takes for someone from your office to reach back out to them. In today's day and age, things are fast. People are online, they're Googling, they see your office, they click contact and send your information. And what they're going to do next is they're going to continue scrolling. And they're going to see another office, and they're going to click that. It doesn't matter how beautiful your website is or how amazing your online presence is. Unless they were referred by a close friend or unless they really, really want to go see you, they're going to click back after they contact you, and they're going to scroll down and find someone else. And once that happens, it's going to be the first person to reach back out to that patient who's going to get that new patient. What this means is that your phones must always be answered during all hours, right? If you have an answering machine, that patient is going to either hang up as soon as they hear the answering machine, or they're going to leave a message and continue scrolling on Google until they find someone who answers or until someone calls them back. And that also means that if you have Google ads or Facebook ads set up and you're getting emails when new patients send in a form, that patient needs to be called back within 5 minutes or sooner, or you're going to have a dramatic decrease in the amount of new patients you get. That is the simplest step, and that is one of the most important parts. So just make sure your front desk is aware of that, and make sure that everything is set up in your office so that patients can get called back as soon as possible. If this means getting an after-hours answering service or having the new patient phone call specifically transferred to your front desk or office manager after hours, or having the voicemails send a text reminder to someone after hours. Something needs to be in place to make sure that once a patient decides to go to you, that they're called or contacted immediately. If you miss this first step, you're wasting money. Whether you're spending money to have your website ranked high, whether you're spending money on Google ads, you're paying for those phone calls. That's what you're paying for. And if you're not answering or returning those calls within 5 minutes, you're wasting that money that you spent to get that very valuable phone call. The second most important part is now how that front desk handles that phone call. They need to be positive, they need to be upbeat, and they need to be trying to help the patient. We have a full training session on our online course, and our marketing company records and trains your front desk and has an answering service if you're looking for a comprehensive guide. But the most important parts of how those phone calls are answered is that the patient feels taken care of and that their questions were answered. What you need to think when you're training your front desk is that this new patient is calling your office to come in. They're not calling your office for any other reason. You need to just assure them that they've found the right place and that they're gonna be taken care of and that we can get them seen soon. So if a patient calls and the first thing that the patient says is, are you guys in network with Delta HMO? Your front desk shouldn't say, no, we're not, and then just pause there. The number one issue that our front desk have in this manner is that they know dentistry too well, and they assume that patients also know dentistry that well. If the patient really knew dental insurance, they would have called their dental insurance provider and asked them for a list of people who are in network. When a patient is asking your front desk if they take Delta PPO, what they're asking is, can I be a new patient, right? It's just the first thing that comes out of their mouth. They're just wondering if you're allowed to go there, if you can see them. If you've ever tried to make a medical appointment, it's a nightmare. Sometimes you'll call them, ask them, they'll say that they're a specialist, and they won't even tell you who you're supposed to call. So they don't know if they're even allowed to go to you, and that's what they're asking. So instead of saying no, they should say something like, oh great, you have Delta HMO. I can look into it and make sure that your insurance is an HMO and see what it is. A lot of our patients do have that insurance, but we're out of network with them, which means you can definitely come here. You'll love Dr. Sellers. He's the best. He's so gentle and nice. And then I can check your insurance to see if or if not they'll cover it. Because you can come here either way. It'll just depend. For the PPOs, they'll pay some of it. For the HMOs, they want you to go to like a specific discounted provider. And then if it's a different kind, I can check it from there and help you out. You answered their question the same. Both times you told them that you don't take their insurance. But the first time, you ended the conversation. That patient was calling to become a new patient, and you immediately shut them down. The second one, the patient was calling to be a new patient, and they were helped. They felt great. They felt like they can come here. And so now that second patient has an option. They can either come to this office that they liked enough to call, and that the front desk was super helpful, and that they know they can come here and they understand that they're going to be taken care of very well. Or they can go back to looking online and trying to find someone. And so if they're answering it that first way, they're going to convert 0% of those new patients. And if they're answering it the second way, they're going to convert closer to 70 to 80% is what we find. And so if you're trying to grow a fee-for-service office, the thing you need to remember is that patients who go to a fee-for-service office still have dental insurance. They just choose not to use it. And this all starts from that initial phone call. A lot of dentists think, I'm great with patients, I can build a fee-for-service office because patients love me. But if you're not getting those patients into your office because of that phone call, those patients have no idea of how good you are and how good of care you're going to give them. So they can't make that choice because they never actually got into your office. Those first 2 points of calling the patient quickly, contacting them quickly, and how the phone call is answered are the most important. That is the difference between 10 new patients a month and 30 new patients a month. The last major point is getting them in the office as soon as possible. Once they called you, once they liked you, you really should be trying to get them in within 24 to 48 hours. You should have something set up that your front desk knows about where new patients can get in. Whether that's making the last half hour of your lunch always open to new patients, making the last half hour of the day always open to new patients, you should be finding a way to squeeze them in. They should be able to come in very quickly because people's attention spans today are much shorter. So we'll make an appointment, 3 days will go by, our appointment's tomorrow, everything's different now. Now we're not even thinking about the dentist. Now the cleaning doesn't seem that important to me. Now the little ache that I felt has gone away. Now I'm tired and just don't want to leave the house, right? It's too far away for them to keep that commitment. So keeping it within 24 to 48 hours of getting them in the office, being able to offer that to them at least, is the third major thing that will significantly impact your practice. And getting new patients is the profit blood of your office. If you don't get any new patients, you will still make your expenses. You will still be able to pay your bills. You will still be able to pay your staff. But it's those new patients that really take it to the next level of that extra income that your office can take each year, which can go to you as the doctor, which can go to improvements, expanding. Those extra new patients are really what influences how much you take home at the end of the year. Your existing patients are great for keeping the lights on, but it's those new patients that really make what you take home each year increase or decrease. So these are the 3 easy steps to make whatever marketing, word of mouth, whatever your new patient flow is currently, these are 3 easy steps to improve that. You can easily get 30 new patients a month in a busy city, in a fee-for-service office, with executing these 3 steps perfectly. Training your front desk does take some time, does take some skill. There are courses out there that help with that. I'll put one at the end of this video if you can't find any, but it's a way to make the most out of what you're already spending on your marketing. If you want to get to the 40, 45, 50 new patients a month, Then you need to start looking into better marketing strategies. And that's what's going to get more phone calls and more attention to your office. But this is always the most underappreciated part of getting a new patient. And it leads to dentists spending more money than they have to while not getting as many new patients as they want. If you want to see more helpful videos like this, hit the subscribe button. And if you want more detailed information about dental marketing, how to train your office staff, or anything else dental CE related, you can always check out our PACE certified online CE course that covers everything that you could possibly want in regards to dentistry.